All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews. So, surprise. So, I finally, through some encouragement, decided to jump into Doctor Who. It was suggested to me to start at season 8. Now, just a little background. I've tried to watch Doctor Who a bunch of times. I have relatives that really like it. I know people that really like it. It's hard to not go somewhere and see somebody who likes Doctor Who. It's never clicked with me. I don't know what's wrong. I remember looking at the old ones thinking, what is this? Because it just looked so, to me, like, I don't want to start off on the wrong foot, but it just looked really crap, like crap. Okay, and I was told then, and this was when I was little, okay, little, and so one of my uncles, told me to watch it from the new Christopher Eccleston one. So I started watching it, and it was okay, but it was still just not clicking for me. I didn't really care about what was going on. I was never invested. And so it's been like that for ever. But I finally, after some encouragement, started watching season 8 or series 8 or however they put it, with Peter Capaldi taking over as Doctor from Matt Smith. And it's series 8, episode 1. It's called Deep Breath. So if you have not seen this, if you're a Doctor Who fan, you've probably seen this, right? So it's called Deep Breath. So full spoilers if you have not seen this. Okay, so as far as jumping into something that's been going on for a long, long time, and the lore is known by many, many, many people, this isn't just like The Expanse. When I started checking out The Expanse, where I found out I was part of this bigger, really big community. I'm not usually the last one, the last horse to cross the finish line on something, but I'm at the end of it. I mean, not the end of the series or anything, just I'm starting really late. I'm talking over, this show was out before I was born, okay? So that's how long I'm late. That's how late I am for the party. But as far as first episodes and really trying to get into it, I dug this quite a bit. And I like wow, starting off really great. I really like Peter Capaldi. I know him mostly from what I saw him was in The Loop. And if you've never seen In the Loop, let me tell you something.
Fucking corner. Stand over there, right?
This is where I know Peter Capaldi from.
Or I will perform a fucking living fucking autopsy on you. With a fucking rusty spade, and I'll have your kidneys for fucking cufflinks. Jesus Christ. Oh, that'll probably confuse you as well, won't it? That'll be too confusing. You'll see it across and go, oh, fuck, X marks the spot. Better tell this little person all about the Prime Minister's fucking catastrophic erectile dysfunction. The Kraken-omics. Where do you think you are? In some fucking Regency costume drama? This is a government department, not a fucking Jane fucking Austen novel.
So yeah, that's where I know Peter Capaldi from, and so when I heard that he was going to be the new Doctor, I was like, well, I mean, he can't do that on Doctor Who, unless they're really going for a TVMA. But that guy's still there. I like that, even though you're supposed to know that it's Matt Smith, I mean, and all the Doctors. You're going to have to forgive me for not knowing everything, but so what I take it to mean here is that whatever happened in Series 7 caused him to regenerate into this Doctor. But Clara is still Clara, and she knows him as the Matt Smith Doctor, right? And they were swallowed by a dinosaur, spit out, And now he's going through a bit of an identity crisis, if I'm following this correctly. She remembers who she is, and it seems like they were a would they, won't, were in a will they, won't they situation before he regenerated. Now, I also know that I don't think he's ever been romantic with any of his, like really romantic with any of his, what do they call them? Companions? Yeah, see, other people are like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? Companions, of course they're companions. And so I like her, Jenna Coleman. I don't think I've seen her in anything, but she's quite lovely. To be a gentleman about it, she was quite lovely. Plus, she's a nice little actress. I like that. She's good. I like her a lot. And I've only seen one other companion, and that was the one from Christopher Eccleston's days, Billy something. She's in Penny Dreadful as well, and that Diaries of a Call Girl or something like that. I can't believe I can't remember her last name. But I like her a lot. I like Jenna Coleman as the companion. I also like this group that's with her. I'm assuming everybody knows who these characters are that I don't. Like Strax, Jenny Flint, Madame Vastra, I think is her name, the lizard-looking lady, which I like that intro. I mean, they are assuming that, like, you know who these characters are. So there's kind of a learning curve going on here that I have to figure out. But she looks great. I have to admit, I didn't hate the way that she looked or the way Strax looks. I just kind of had to go, all right, you're giving it a shot here, so don't rip it to pieces if you think it looks fake. And I was just like, no, you know what? I'm just going to embrace it. Think of it like I'm watching playing a video game or watching like a long cutscene. And so I just turned my brain off in a good way. The way that'll let me just enjoy something while being intellectually stimulated at the same time, just so I can get used to the world. Because it is kind of nice that they threw in the dinosaur, because I just kind of feel like that's a touchstone type of thing for a Doctor Who, like something that's weird and not right and not the way it's supposed to be. Giving him kind of like, I don't know, a good starting point to kind of remember who he is. And I don't know if he goes through this every single time or what, but he does seem to be very put off that he's old, which I like. I also like the way they use when he uses the reflection against the robot man, that the robot man's looking at himself, but the Doctor's looking at himself too, like how much he looks like different, and how the running gag of kind of him being old and why am I old and blah, blah, blah. But I really dig that. I really dig their chemistry. And when I realized, without knowing anything, again, like much about all this lore and like David Tennant's run, I didn't finish Christopher Eccleston run. I haven't seen any David Tennant. I haven't seen any Matt Smith. All I remember about the old ones were they were mostly in black and white, and they were just really, crap. But like I said, I was watching this in the early 80s, so everything looked like crap back then. But so she has to act like she knows who this is, like that she's been with this guy for a long time, real chemistry, real long time, when you've been around somebody long enough and you got shorthand with them and stuff like that. And he's got, again, he's got to do the same thing where he's got to act like he knows her. And so the ability to pull this off in the first episode is pretty great, I think. And I know that so many people are, attached to the characters and just the lore that I tried to remember, like, be respectful, Rob. Like, this is people's, like, a favorite thing. And so, but I got to be honest. And here's the thing, is that I did like it quite a bit. And I don't feel like anything's, I just didn't really feel like complaining about any of it, because I was just trying to take that much in. Now, some people could say, well, this is the worst season ever, or this is the best season ever, but I mean, I guess that's with anything, right? But I do like this story where it's crazy, because not only are they trying to figure out where they fit with each other now, I love the whole thing where he just shows up in the restaurant in the bum's coat and doesn't understand why everything smells. That scene, there's some like really great scenes. So there's this like robot man that's like looks part human and like kind of like clockwork parts kind of going in him, which it's like they're supposed to be sophisticated and they are, but they also kind of have that steampunk look to them, which is really kind of cool. But starting with the scene in the restaurant where they realize that everybody there is a robot, I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's also really, really cool. I like it a lot. How everything kind of changes. And I've said to myself, like, if I was in this world, wouldn't I just just blast past these robots? But they actually seem to have like kind of an intimidation factor. Like there's weight to them. The whole thing where they go down on the couch or on the table, like the booth seat. So I guess that's the only seat that goes down. So you're gonna have to make sure that the real people are sitting there all the time, because that's where they're getting their parts from, is people sitting there, and they chop them up and use them to make themselves look more real. That's pretty gruesome and pretty great. And it fits in with the dinosaur. Like all of a sudden the dinosaur gets torched and it's them using us for parts to make themselves from robots to humans. And they're looking for this promised land. And it's nuts. It's freaking nuts. And even though I think I would feel like it's really just fake looking if I wasn't so invested in the story. And again, please don't judge me too harshly, because this is like my first serious attempt at watching it. And it's one of the reasons, like I've said, that kept me out of it is everything just looks so fucking just phony. And I know it's not. And what I'm trying to say is that none of what I would have been bothered with was affecting the way I was enjoying the story whatsoever. I was invested in that enough to overlook the things that I would normally gripe at something about. And so that's saying something to me, is if you can make me completely immerse myself in the world and not care that looks fake and that looks fake and that looks like a PBS set and whatever, then you've really done something, because I'm all about narrative. Whether it's in video games, comic books, any medium, I'm looking for a good story, and a story that can immerse me and suck me in. And that's what this did. I especially really loved the part where she held her breath, knowing to myself, I was like, she's not getting out of this. She's not, like they're teasing us. But it's her, that struggle, that thought that maybe she's going to make it out, and then she can't. And she's seeing the spots and everything. It was really, really cool. I dug that quite a bit. And the fact that he leaves her and then has that test, it's almost like the trust fall in a way, like that he is there still. It's the same doctor, and that whole trust thing going on between them, like, and the identity crisis. Like, he doesn't really understand who he is yet. She's, jarred by the fact that he's changed, and clearly because they were close, this all happening at once in the middle of this big mission that's pretty dire. They have to find a way to trust each other, and they pulled that off brilliantly, I feel like. And then they do this unexpected thing after it's all resolved and everything, and he pushes, I think the guy jumped, but we don't know as of right now. He pushes the guy out onto the top of the church or whatever, the cross, by convincing him about like all the things about what they're looking for and all that crap, and what they are. And I love the speech about the broomstick. Like, after a while you change the handle, then the head, and it's not the same thing. After a while you've changed yourself completely, that you don't even know what you are anymore, who you are, or what you are, like where you came from, all that stuff. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool things in here. And in a way also, and maybe it's because of Stephen Moffat, right? He's the one behind all this, same as Sherlock, that it reminds me of kind of like what if Sherlock was a time-traveling, adventurer, and that the companion is somehow Watson. And that kind of helped me get through it too, like just trying to think of it on those terms, because he's very much kind of like Holmes to me. He seems to be kind of a sociopath in a way, but like kinder. But he's also he can be like this, at least this doctor, as far as how I'm taking his character, seems to be more like a Holmes type character. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, this is episode 1, and again, I don't want to keep saying this, but I'm new. I feel like I'm like this is day 1 on Doctor Who The Job review. And it's like, I'm going to use that like, I'm new, I don't know anything. Please don't fire me. Excuse until I can't get away with it any longer. But anyway, I like that the touch at the end when the doctor, played by Matt Smith, is calling her from a different time period, I'm assuming, to calm her down and to realize, what's happening. You got to just trust it. And, he's afraid, you're afraid. And it's a nice goodbye to his character. I think that they didn't want it, maybe because it was so jarring or whatever. I don't know if they've done this in the past. But even though I've never seen one of his episodes, I could immediately feel the connection between her and him trying to tell her, it's still me. It's just, but it's still, different, and how she can accept that and how she does. And I like that. And man, is she gorgeous. And I don't know anything more about the Strax and Jenny Flint and everything. I guess Vastra and her are a thing. I don't know. It seems like I did like the scene where she's asking why she's posing like that, and that's such a thing. Oh, you lighten up the room. And she looks at her like, yeah, come on, you're staring at my tits. But maybe it's not that. Maybe it's purer than that. Maybe it's some goddess thing. I don't know. That's just how I took it. But anyway, I really, really am satisfied with this, and I'm really happy that I did it. I don't know how quick or how often I'm going to get these done, but I felt like, yeah, let's throw my hat in the ring here, and I'm glad I did. So I want to thank anybody that likes this, and please, if you liked it, hit the like button. Comment, share, subscribe. That's how we grow, is sharing. Sharing is caring. Subscribe if you like it. If you feel like donating to the channel, it's in the description below. Hit the bell for all notifications, all that stuff. I kind of feel like I've got to talk to a whole new audience here, so forgive me for giving you the $10 tour, more like the $1 tour. But anyway, this is Robert Smirking Gun Review saying we'll be back with more Doctor Who eventually. Tomorrow we've got my patron reviews to do. We've got more Last of Us to do. We've got my Sam Rockwell month to continue. And if anybody's having trouble watching my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one that I did, because I'm really proud of that video, please check out my Sam Rockwell month videos. There's Clown House and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you can figure out a way to watch them. I've been having difficulty watching it, except on my phone. So please check that out, because I am trying new things for the channel and how to do videos and practicing for when I get better equipment. So anyway, have a great night, and we will see you on the next video.